are watching part 5 of Corriga Bailey, brought to you by Crave the Spotlight Media Marketing, experts in the spotlight. Join us now as Victor Irving Jenkins interviews Corriga Bailey.
Victor, I will never forget that day. It was, if that day were measured in dollar value, it would have to include my salaries that I've earned since wearing the suit to the interviews. It would have to include the cost of my college tuition because we were required to wear suits for presentations. It would cost the dollar value of internship hours by which I wore the suit to the interviews. It would include travel. It would include dining. It would include it all. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
That gift remained priceless. It kept on giving. It gave so much that this year, as the dean at Maya Angelou, I saw my students apply for a scholarship, Achiever Scholarship. It's a $50,000 scholarship. And I watched the young men dress in their best. And there was one young man who, if you saw him today, you would think it was me all over again. I mean, even I was able to see it. But I didn't know what I looked like until I saw this young man who operated on a different set of values than his peers. He was a seeker of information. He was polite. He was a gentleman. He went out of his way to show that I'm willing to work hard. And these skill sets just screamed at me. Snapshot. Maya Angelou, the school that I work at, is an alternative education setting. And it's a non-traditional education setting. So many of our students weren't successful at their other schools. And many of them just do better at our school. This particular young man, I picked him up one day for a workout. We went to go work out together, and he told me about his experience as a last school. I said, man, you're on the principal's honor roll, man. You got a 4.0. There aren't very many 4.0s. And he's been maintaining it. I said, what are your interests? He said, man, Mr. Bailey, I just want to be my best self. That's why I want to go to the gym with you, so I can improve my physical self, but I'm working on my mind too. I said, is that right? And I watched him manage himself, and I watched him. There was another event where he had to dress up for a presentation, and I sized him up. And the moment came back to me as clear as day. I said, is this what Victor Jenkins did when he saw me? Like, were these the cues that made him say, I think I'm on to something? So me and the young man begin to talk, and he comes back to my house after another workout, make some protein shakes. And, I ask him, what size are you? I asked him the exact same question you asked me, right? I asked the exact same question. He said, man, I'm not an extra large. I said, no, son, suit jacket size. I use the exact same cues. I mean, I had this thing lined up.
Okay.
But I go into the closet, and I pull the suit out. And I said, this is no ordinary suit. This suit, it represents the goodness of humanity. It represents all of the goodness. It represents a continual giving. Gave the young man the suit, but I didn't just give him the suit, right? Because that's not how you did me. So he had to go pick a selection of ties. Grab a tie or two. And had the shirt there freshly played, the pin still in it. It was the standard of giving you gave me. You gave me your best at your best. And this young man was deserving of that as well. And he couldn't believe it. He said, Bailey, because he's one of the few students who call me Mr. Bailey. At my school, I'm just Bailey. And I prefer to be Bailey than some of the other things I've been on some other days.
Okay.
Right? But he says, Mr. Bailey. There's a pride in that. There's an esteem. There's a respect in that. Because I say, man, it's all right. Come, Bailey. No, you Mr. Bailey. Why? He said, I got to talk to you, man. Why do you do the things you do? I couldn't tell him it was anything about him. I had to give him my life. I had to shape for him the experience that I had that I could not have ever been deserving of, that my mother nor father could have ever provided. It would include suits. It would include scholarships. It would include invitations to lunches. It would include travel. It would include employment opportunities. It would include conversation in good company. And most importantly, it would include an abundance of love. I feel so love secure because of how my life has been shaped by gentlemen such as yourself, the Gentleman 100, family, friends. I'm so love secure. It permits me to give an abundance of love. And it's the one thing that some students say I do differently. I give it in love. It's because I desperately need them to get what I'm giving. Mm-hmm. I can't afford for them not to get it. It's almost the idea of a chewable tablet, right? You need this so much that I'm willing to cater it to you just the way you like it delivered. Mm-hmm. For me, that also represents the love of God. You love me so much that you'll give me a song that touches my heart because you know that I won't forget the song. So in the event that I ever lose hope or sight of the thing that you promised me, there's a song that I can call on. And you gave it to me coded just for my memory. So for my young people, all that I give it in love, just so they're more likely to receive it.
Well, we were just talking about give a young man a suit. More on that later. Give a young man a suit.